Namaskar, I am Dr. Bhimanu Preti, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences, Jayoti Vidyapith, Women's University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. So today's our topic is the introduction of organic farming, just basic steps or basic needs which we required for organic agriculture. We are going to discuss in this session. So number one is what is the requirement for organic farming. So point one is no synthetic herbicides, pesticides, fertilizers or genetically modified organisms are not required. Okay, so what are these chemicals are not only potentially harmful to the environment and our human health, but they are expensive too. Means herbicides, fertilizers and genetically modified crops, they are very expensive for the farmers. So we should avoid these kind of practices for the organic farming. Second point is organic agriculture promotes biodiversity. So how organic culture or organic farming produce or promote biodiversity? Pesticide and herbicides not only kill intended parasite but also beneficial insects that are vital to the food chain, such as bees, which are important for plant health. Okay, if we are using any kind of pesticide for a specific kind of pest, but in a direct way, or the secondary side effect of these herbicide or pesticide is they kill the beneficial insect or bees also. So this is a negative impact of synthetic fertilizers or synthetic chemicals. So when we adopt organic farming, we are using all natural ingredients or natural manures, natural pesticides, herbicides, so they are beneficial for biodiversity, and in that way we are promoting biodiversity. The next point is build healthy soil. Chemical fertilizers, pesticide, herbicides, they provide nutrient very quickly to the soil, but their harsh chemical effect, they are chemicals which are not degenerated in nature, so their concentration increases in soil, and that's why what happened, the natural structure of the soil means there is a one layer of chemical, then second season we are putting again chemical, then again we are putting chemical. So layer by layer we are increasing the concentration of these chemicals in the soil, and that's why the natural constituent of soil, natural formation process of soil is disturbed. So that's why we are polluting soil. So when we use a natural manure, when we use natural fertilizers or pesticides, uh, once first we are protecting the biodiversity, second we are protecting the soil also, because the soil will positively benefited by these kind of natural fertilizers. Second one is sell product at higher price. Generally, organic food production require more labor than conventional, greater management knowledge and skill, and implies a potential lower yield. Therefore, producers generally include a price premium or organic product market them more expensive than conventional. Okay, increased consumers interest. Demand for the organic product has dramatically increased in the past 15 years. I mean, in 15 years the organic products are in more demand, because now we can say that corona is in very much intensity. Number of cases of corona are coming day by day. So what people are doing, people are going towards the natural things. They are using natural product, they are using organic food, because they know that all these kind of pandemics, all these kind of diseases are through chemicals or synthetic things. So in past 15 years the demand of organic product is increased, and the threat is not showing any indication of showing down. Okay, increasing demand means we need to produce more supplies, we need more farmers to accept this kind of agriculture systems, so that we can fulfill these kind of demands. Okay, so the first step is the selection of crops. which kind of crops we should select. When we speak about farm condition, we are considering soil and climate condition as well as biotic factors. Okay, so what are the climatic conditions which we required for the production of good organic product? So climatic conditions include temperature, rainfall, relative humidity, because all these climatic conditions are directly indirectly responsible for good product. Average hours of sunlight, other site specific factors such as frequency of extreme weather conditions. Means if we are doing organic farming in hilly areas, in desert areas, so which kind of conditions we should apply or we are going to face, we need to know about these kind of conditions. So temperature, rainfall, obviously, because water is required for relative humidity, because more humidity means more germination and flourishing of the plants. Average hours of sunlight, okay, sun period, sunlight is very much important. Okay, what are the soil conditions? As we discussed in previous slide also, we are discussed today also, that healthy soil and the soil is the most important factor for the successful production of good organic product. Okay, so what are the soil conditions? Soil conditions include soil texture. Okay, so we have texture, which are the texture ingredients. Means first of all, gravel, which is stones in soil, gravel. Then second is sand, then third is silt, then fourth is clay. The most fine particles, clay, then bigger than clays, silt, then sand, then gravel. Okay, sand, silt, clay. Okay, so what are the biotic factors? Biotic factors are living factors. What are the factors which are responsible for the organic farming or for the betterment of organic farming? This refers to the living things within the ecosystem, such as plant, animals, bacteria, fungi, etc. All these are the ingredients. All these are the part of ecosystem. Ecosystem is the combination. The system is combination of various factors. So animals in an ecosystem, for organic farming, animals, because we are getting a numbers of benefit from animals, like animal dung, cow urine, animal waste, these kind of things. Plants, obviously green manure we are getting from the plants. Bacteria and fungi, they are bacteria, fungi and microorganisms are very much responsible for the nutrient cycling, which we're talking about for the healthy soil. Okay, so next point is there a stable supply of water? Okay, so water is very important, because water is the most important part, like soil, water, and the soil ecosystem. These are some important points which we should discuss. Okay, while some locations are water abundant, other may require additional measure to supply water for crop. Okay, so in India is a country of diversity. So what we need a proper water. Some areas, like hilly areas or some areas, they have a good amount of water, but some areas of country, like dry lands or some hilly areas, because where water is proper, but water channeling or management of water irrigation is not proper. So for that we need different type of management systems, like drip irrigation is a very good concept, sprinklers, and these kind of system, like drip irrigation and sprinklers, through which we can just fulfill the water requirement. Okay. Next point is, which crops are suitable to the existing farm condition? So if we are adopting organic agriculture, so we need to know about that, which kind of crops are suitable for my condition. If I'm selecting organic system or organic farming, I want to say, okay, I thought that, or you thought that, students, you thought that, okay, after graduation we want to do organic farming. So which kind of crops you need, which kind of crops are suitable for your location? Because we are from different, some students are from Rajasthan, some students from Haryana, some students from Bihar. So we students are from different localities, and every locality have a specific kind of crop system. So for that, first we need to know about the crops of our locality, the which kind of crops are suitable for my locality. Okay, after that only we can start organic farming. Okay, because if we know the crop, then we will know the disease of that crop, what kind of nutrients that crop required, what kind of climatic condition that crop required. After that, after doing all this kind of homework, then we can start organic farming. Directly we cannot start, because organic farming is a very basic agriculture, but it require a skilled structure or skilled management system, that irrigation, proper fertilizers, because we are not using chemical fertilizer. For that we have to, if we are using biofertilizers or non-chemical or home wastage fertilizer, so we need to prepare this kind of, how to prepare vermicompost, how to prepare coco peat, how to just do the drip irrigation, how we can set up the sprinkler. So these numbers of factors, minute factors, which are very much important for the success of organic farming. Okay, so we need to know about these kind of. Okay, next point is, what are the suitable or available resources and technology. Different crops may require different machinery. Okay, or even in India, different areas, we have hilly areas, we have wetlands also, we have desert areas. So every area is require different kind of machinery. We cannot apply same system in every location, because India is a country of diversity. Geographically we are also very diverse, so different crops may require different machinery. Okay, depending on the scale of your farm. Okay, so what point is that, if you have large farm, you have large area of organic farming, you need different type of machine. If you have a small area, you need different type of machinery. So first of all, we need to know that which kind of farm I have, and how much farm I am going to utilize, and which kind of machinery I need. You may want to consider planting crop that require that some machinery, or avoid plant varieties that require specialized equipments. Equipments are also varied from species to species and crops to crop. If we different crops means the machinery is varies as per the crop system. So we have to make a full chart about everything, that which kind of soil, which kind of climate, which kind of ecosystem, which kind of manure we are going to use, which kind of, how we are going to irrigate our crops, which kind of machinery I need, which kind of geography I need. So organic farming is a very systematic farming. For that we need to do a lot of homework before starting organic farming. What is the storage potential for each crop? Okay, so we started organic farming, we cultivated crop, then the point is how to store the crop product. Okay, depending on climatic condition, different crop will be harvested at different point throughout the year. Okay, throughout the year we are getting the product. To ensure that you have a steady flow of available food to either sell or consumer yourself. Okay, there should be a chain, that product, then in market, product in market. Okay, if we are not going directly to the market, then storage capacity, which kind of storage practices we can do organically without any chemical preservative. Okay, so how to start organic farming? After all these points, how we need to start? Okay, first of all, we need to understand the climatic condition, then soil condition, then we need to the area of organic farming, in which area I'm going to start organic farming, then water system, that how I will do irrigation to the crops, then crop, suitable crop for my area, for my locality, then preservation, then market. Okay, so these are the steps. If you are thinking that okay, I will do the organic farming. So you need to know that all these steps, write down all these steps and just do that. Okay, if my locality is hilly area, my locality is desert area, I will do this kind of irrigation. My farm is small, my farm is large, I will adopt small machinery or large machinery. Which kind of climatic condition, which kind of water condition, how I will irrigate my plant. So you need to make this kind of chart. Okay, so today's topic is about the start, how we can start the organic farming or which kind of condition we require for organic farming. In next topic we will talk about the organic ecosystem. Okay, namaskar, thank you.